My name is Boris Rosoklia. I'm from Columbia University and originally from Macedonia. So this is my question. We have our department, which is the Department for Neuroscience and Psychiatry, has some experience applying for EU grants. We applied with our colleagues from Ireland and from UK. It was a very successful application because we did our part, they did theirs, and then they had administration that could fulfill all the criteria because European Union has very complicated administrative part, very different than what we have at NIH. Our Department for Grants and Contracts that we have at Columbia University and most universities have is trained how to do application for NIH. So when we applied with the Macedonians, we were unsuccessful. It was mostly because of that administrative part there. So then, when we tried from here to speak with the help desk, we couldn't reach them. It was an effort, during the last month before the deadline, so we couldn't reach them on the phone. We couldn't reach them on email, and it was only one person that they do not know him personally, but it was Jürgen Sauter who will answer our questions, but he was not really responsible for that type of grants. At the end, we received an NIH grant, which is for brain research in developing world, and then we received R1 grants, and now we're building that infrastructure, which is brain banking of psychiatric tissue and collaboration with US scientists, because we have to show to NIH that we're using their money to build the infrastructure that will be used by US scientists. What countries like Macedonia need is basically grants and contracts department. What you have is training, but that training has to be paid. So Columbia University cannot pay money to anyone to go for a training. That is like 1,500 euros, 2,000 euros, money which are not big compared with our grants. We do not have them in our grants. So that's kind of problem that we have in collaborating with less developed European countries. And it would be great if you can really do something about it. As administrative part that we can help them with our science. So, thank you.
Thank you. This is the message which I've heard the most times in my part of here. So we are truly trying to simplify the programs as much as possible, because at the end of the day, it's EU taxpayers' money, and we have to report on each euro which is spent. And of course, the controls which are existing, the Court of Auditors, the European Parliament are still there and watching at us, and rightly so. So in a way, if you don't hear nothing, we are quite successful. So that's concerning that. Some steps have been done, which I said it in the introduction, which are giving us a hope that we went to the right direction. First of all, we haven't changed the instruments, which is good because anybody who was working with us is now knows the rules. It is less reported than it was before. We have different approach also to stage application. In some cases, already introduced. We are introducing also for SMEs. We have done some major steps ahead. We are introducing also this single registration facility. We are in the middle of that process, so anybody who once applied will actually will not have to admit again any of the data which are connected to him. So all these things are happening. I'm sure about two things: that we are certainly going to the right direction, and that we are certainly not yet there. For the Macedonians, hopefully the fact that we have agreed for the associated partnership with them, which is bringing them in a very much different situation than in the past, which is aligning them and creating much more knowledge at home also how actually the programs work, will in some years, few years, change the picture. Because in research, unfortunately, it's not like in the, let's say, foreign relations. When you are the member of the union, your foreign minister could sit at the table and like others discuss because he knows the issues. In research, it's networking, it's knowing, and so on. When we are comparing the 2007 results of the new member states and also associated member states, we are not satisfied, it's clear. But it's not the problem when in the phase from the application to evaluation. So when they are there, their level of evaluation, the success rate of evaluation is higher than for the old member states. But exactly the step which you described as critical, it's still seems critical. So we have to work in strengthening, understanding, sharing knowledge, helping them. And that's exactly very much part of the business in which we are, where Mary and the team which is around there is doing, I think, quite a good job. But as I said before, unfortunately, always one has to be patient and consistent and simply work with belief in this direction.
Take one more question.
And in your introductory part of the speech, you praised this crowd that you have the best and the brightest, and most importantly, the mobile crowd too. I don't know about the brightest, but I'm certainly mobile. I'm born in Serbia, I was on PhD in Hungary, worked in Netherlands, spent 8 years in Japan, and over 8 now in the USA. And I enjoy every day of it. But there are 50 who can realize that there is another side of the same coin. I get energy time. Even though I pay my dues everywhere, never accumulated enough time to be eligible for anything. So my question is, what can the council do for the younger generation around here? Because I'm sure they enjoy the part that is now. But what's going to happen to them later?
That's exactly the point which I make also in introduction. That's one of the areas which we see also in Europe as a weakness. And in the work of strengthening the European research area, while this activity which I called, or we are calling it Researchers' Passport, we will address exactly this issue also, because we think it is critical. It is critical for people like you, and it is critical for the future generations in Europe. So if we don't remove these obstacles, we will certainly not be somebody who would be effective and by the way also fair to the people who devote their life for science and who by definition are more.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Potocnik. Thank you for your questions. This session comes to the end now, and I would like to invite you now for a reception next door. So thank you so much, and see you here.